How could you do this to me, John? I remember yelling those words like it happened yesterday, even though it's been over a year. I was 6 months pregnant, standing in the doorway of our living room, shaking with disbelief and fury. He stood there, arms crossed, face emotionless as if I were the one causing a problem. That was when it hit me. Everything we had built was a lie. Dad, my name is Melissa Harper. I'm 32 now, a single mom to my beautiful 1-year-old daughter, Emma. Life looks nothing like what I imagined, but in some ways, it's better. Just over a year ago, betrayal blindsided me and flipped my world upside down, forcing me to move forward while preparing to welcome my baby. In those first few weeks after John left, I felt like I was drowning. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face, heard his cruel words. I'm not attracted to you anymore, Melissa. Look at you. You've let yourself go. Those words echoed endlessly, cutting deeper every time Dot and Julia, my so-called best friend, she didn't even have the decency to look me in the eye. I never confronted her. There was no point. I erased her from my life like she was never in it. The rest of my pregnancy I faced alone emotionally and financially. John didn't just leave me. He abandoned Emma to no calls, no money, not even a text. My mom tried to support me, but I could see how it hurt her to watch me go through this. I pretended to be strong, but at night, when the house was quiet, I cried until I passed out from exhaustion. It all began when Karen showed up at my door, face pale, clearly shaken. "Melissa, I need to talk to you," she said, stepping inside. She hesitated, searching for the right words. "I saw John today with Julia. They came out of a hotel. They kissed right there in the hallway." My stomach dropped. I couldn't process what she was saying. John, my husband. Julia, my best friend. The shock quickly gave way to anger. I bombarded Karen with questions. When? Where? Are you sure? But deep down, I already knew she wouldn't lie about this. My world tilted on its axis. "Why a hotel? Are you sure it was them?" I asked, voice trembling, desperate for an explanation that would undo it all. Karen nodded, eyes filled with regret. "My cousins were staying there. I was visiting them. I saw John and Julia come out of a room. They didn't see me, but they kissed." It was a gut punch. My chest tightened, tears stinging my eyes. I sank onto the couch, unable to breathe. The man I loved, the life I built, everything was falling apart. And Juliet, the one I always turned to, was part of it. I waited for John that night, my heart pounding. When his car pulled into the driveway, a wave of dread hit me. He came in like it was any normal day, loosening his tie, setting his keys down. "How long has it been, John?" I asked, voice trembling but firm. His expression hardened. "What are you talking about?" "Don't play dumb," I snapped. "Karen saw you with Julia at the hotel. Now, tell me the truth." He scoffed, his voice dismissive. "Karen's crazy. She misunderstood. There's nothing going on." But he couldn't meet my eyes. I clenched my fists, fury rising. "Don't lie to me, John. She saw you leave a hotel room. She saw you kiss her. Don't insult my intelligence." He paced, frustrated. Melissa, you're blowing this out of proportion. Julia and I are just friends. His excuses were pathetic, and guilt was all over his face. As he spoke, I felt Emma move, my baby, a tiny reminder of what truly mattered. For a second, the anger melted into crushing sadness. Do you even care about us, John? I whispered. Do you care about your daughter? She's in... Here she feels this. He glanced at my belly briefly, but his expression stayed cold. This isn't about the baby. Don't make it dramatic. That was the moment I knew I was alone. Tears welled up, but I didn't let them fall. Not dramatic, I repeated, my voice rising. I'm 6 months pregnant, and you're telling me this isn't dramatic. He sighed like he was the victim. It just happened, okay? I can't help how I feel. Things haven't been the same. Look at you, you've changed. I'm not attracted to you anymore. His words twisted like a knife. He sneered. God, Melissa, you act like you're the only woman to ever be pregnant. Always whining, always tired. You look like an elephant waddling around in sweats with greasy hair. Julia, she's gorgeous. She takes care of herself. You're a mess? I stood frozen, numb. I had expected denial or excuses, but not cruelty. This man, who once promised to love me, was tearing me down, piece by piece. You don't even care, I whispered. Not about me, not about Emma, not about any of it. He shrugged. I've moved on. Maybe you should too. The next day, I packed what I could and left. I couldn't stay in that house. My mom had offered to take me in weeks ago, and now I had no choice but to say yes. When I got there, she was waiting with open arms. Oh, sweetheart, she whispered, pulling me close. I broke down for the first time since learning the truth. I cried. You and Emma are going to be okay, she promised. I'm here. Life at Mom's was quiet but not easy. She cooked my favorite meals, sat with me at night, but the silence still hurt. Alone, I folded and refolded Emma's tiny clothes, terrified of doing this alone. I resisted the urge to call John. What would be the point? Weeks passed. John disappeared completely. No messages, no interest. It was like we never existed. I checked my phone obsessively at first, then slowly stopped. Eventually, I packed up every photo of him, every memory, and stuffed it into a box at the back of the closet. Months dragged by. Pregnancy was hard. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, and often heartbroken. But every time I felt Emma move, I remembered she was my reason. And then she arrived. Perfect. When I held her, I didn't feel broken. I felt whole. The first few weeks were a blur. Late night feedings, learning how to be a mom. But every smile, every sound she made reminded me that I didn't need John. I had everything I needed right there in my arms. Weeks later, I went to the mall for the first time. My mom offered to watch Emma. It felt strange walking alone, but I needed it. I was beginning to feel normal again. Until I heard it. Melissa, I turned and froze. Julia. She looked broken. Puffy eyes, wrinkled clothes, slight baby bump. So sorry, she said, crying. I need to tell you everything. She told me John left her too, lost his job, started gambling, drinking. When she got pregnant, he vanished. Please forgive me, she begged. I ruined everything, but I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no sympathy. I turned and walked away. When I got home, there was John, sitting on my front steps, unkempt and reeking of alcohol. Melissa, he muttered, I love you. I love Emma. Please take me back. I stared at him. You left us. And now you're here, drunk, saying sorry. He pleaded. I lost everything. Please, let me be part of her life. I stayed strong. You made your choice. Emma and I are better off without you. He broke down sobbing, but I stepped inside and closed the door. That day, both of them, the ones who broke me, came crawling back. I didn't have to do anything. They ruined themselves. I went upstairs, peeked in on Emma. She was fast asleep, peaceful in the glow of the nightlight. This is my life now, and it's going to be beautiful.